Amara and Wosu had been raised to believe that marriage was not just a union, it was a lifetime covenant. Her mother always said, "A good marriage is like a clay pot. Strong, but only if both people keep molding it." Amara believed that. She lived by that. And yet, she never imagined she would one day be standing inside a mansion that looked perfect on the outside while everything inside was quietly falling apart. But that was the future. Before the cracks, there was beauty. Before the betrayal, there was fire. Before the storm, there was love. The beginning. Lagos had a way of swallowing people whole. Its noise, its energy,
Let's
its
get
ambitions.
to work.
But Amara navigated it with grace. She was a lawyer, sharp-minded and
Let's
soft-spoken,
get to work.
known for her calm even in the middle of chaos. Kelechi Okafor was the opposite. Bold. Magnetic. His presence could fill a room before he even stepped into it. He was a real estate developer with a reputation for turning abandoned spaces into luxury estates. Everyone said he had the Midas touch. When they met at a corporate gala, Amara wasn't impressed by the noise around him. She noticed something else, the way he watched people quietly when they weren't looking, as though he were reading hidden stories in their faces. He noticed her too, the quiet shadow at the buffet table wearing a burgundy gown that complemented her deep brown skin. "Why does the most elegant woman in this room look like she's hiding?" he asked, his voice carrying that confident, teasing warmth. Amara raised an eyebrow. "Maybe she's avoiding people who ask too many questions." He laughed, a warm, rich sound, and that was the beginning. 6 months later, he proposed with a ring so stunning that half of Lagos whispered about it for weeks. A year later, they married in Enugu under the shade of ancient palm trees. Even the priest said he had never seen a couple so destined for each other. Together, they built a life many envied, a mansion in Ikwe, 2 successful careers, vacations in Dubai, the kind of love that looked effortless. Until it wasn't. The first hairline crack. It began quietly. Like a whisper trapped between walls. Kelechi started working late, not unusual, but something felt different. His greetings became shorter. His text replies slower. His smiles thinner. One night, as Amara waited in the living room, she saw headlights sweep across the marble floor. Relief washed through her, but when the front door opened, Kelechi didn't step inside smiling the way he used to. He walked in exhausted, distracted, carrying a perfume that wasn't hers. A slow poison, drip by drip. Amara inhaled subtly. It was floral. Sweet. Soft. Not expensive, so not someone from his corporate circle. Her heart thudded once, hard. But she didn't speak. Her mother had taught her patience. Her spirit taught her caution. Kelechi kissed her forehead. "Long day, my love?" She nodded. "I warmed your food." But that night, while he showered, she sat on the bed and whispered to herself, "Lord, let this just be stress. Nothing more." The walls of the mansion seemed to listen in silence. The second crack. 2 weeks later, Amara received a strange call from an unknown number. "Good afternoon, Ma," a young woman's voice said timidly. "Please, is this Mrs. Okafor?" Amara hesitated. "Yes? Ma, your husband left his file in our office." "Oh. And you are?" "Chidinma, Ma. From the new branch of Ikeja Metro Realtors." Amara blinked. "My husband expanded to Ikeja?" She kept her tone calm, but inside her stomach tightened. "Yes, Ma. He visits often. Almost every day." The girl didn't sound suspicious, only respectful, but her words hit like cold rain. Amara thanked her and hung up gently. She stared at her phone for a long time. Why would Kelechi open a new branch without telling her? They discussed everything. Even business expansions. Always together. That night she cooked his favorite, fisherman's soup, hoping it would soften whatever wall was growing between them. But when he came home, he barely touched it. "I'm not really hungry," he said, loosening his tie. "Just tired." She watched him carefully. "Kelechi, is there something on your mind?" He didn't meet her eyes. "I'm fine, Amara. I just need rest." But the way he avoided her gaze told a different story. A story he wasn't ready to speak. A story she wasn't ready to hear. The spiritual warning. One early morning, Amara woke up from a troubling dream. She saw a house standing strong on the outside but filled with cracks within. She saw herself walking through the corridors calling Kelechi's name, but her voice echoed back empty. She sat up sweating. Her heart thudded with a quiet dread. Later that day, she visited Mama Chinyu, a respected prayer woman she trusted since childhood. Not a fortune-teller, not someone dramatic, just a spiritual elder who had guided her since youth. After a long silent prayer, Mama Chinyu opened her eyes slowly. Amara, your home is under a cloud. Something hidden is growing. Something your spirit already senses. Amara swallowed hard. Is it another woman? Mama Chinyu didn't answer directly. Instead, she said, Betrayal doesn't always begin with a side relationship. Sometimes it starts the day your partner gives their heart more to the world than to you. But whatever this is, it will come to light soon. Amara felt tears burn behind her eyes. Should I confront him? Not yet, Mama Chinyu said. Watch. Pray. Listen. The truth will reveal itself without you chasing it. Amara nodded slowly. But she left the house trembling. The third crack, the one that echoed. The truth came not with a scream, but a whisper. The kind whispered in the wrong place at the wrong time. Amara and Kelechi attended a charity gala in Victoria Island. The hall sparkled with gold drapes and chandeliers. Music floated softly through the room. Everything felt normal, until Amara walked toward the restroom. Two women stood near the hallway, speaking in hushed voices, not noticing her approach. I'm telling you, that girl is playing with fire. Who? The one Kelechi Okafor is seeing. You haven't heard? You mean the young interior designer? Yes now. Ha! And his wife? That beautiful lawyer? That's Lagos for you. Men will still. They stopped abruptly when they saw Amara standing behind them. Silence. Thick. Frozen. Heavy. Amara didn't say a word. She simply looked at them, calm, controlled, though her heart felt like shattering glass. One woman murmured, Sorry, ma. But Amara walked past them without a glance. In the restroom, she locked herself in a stall and leaned against the wall as her breath trembled. Her ears rang. Her chest felt tight. Her world tilted. She closed her eyes and whispered, God, please help me. That night, she said nothing to Kelechi. But she watched him. And he avoided her gaze again. The storm was coming. She could feel it in her bones. The morning after the gala, the sky over Ikoyi was strangely gray, as though Lagos itself sensed a shift coming. Amara sat on the balcony, wrapped in a soft cream robe, sipping tea she couldn't taste. Her mind replayed the voices of the two women at the gala like a broken record. That girl is playing with fire. The interior designer. Interior designer. Her heart dipped. Kelechi had recently renovated one of his commercial buildings. He mentioned hiring a new designer, a young one. He never said her name. He never said much at all lately. The mansion was quiet, but inside Amara, thunder rolled. A suspicious detail. When Kelechi finally stepped out of the bedroom, buttoning his cufflinks, Amara watched him closely. You're leaving early today, she said softly. He blinked, surprised she was awake. Yes. I have a meeting with the engineering team. Engineering team, she repeated, as though tasting the words. He paused for a fraction of a second, just long enough for her instincts to stiffen. Yes, love. He bent to kiss her. She turned her cheek subtly. A small rejection, but he felt it. He looked at her longer than usual, as though sensing something was shifting beneath them. Then he left. As soon as the door clicked shut, Amara's phone buzzed. A text from Chidinma, the young receptionist who had called earlier. Good morning, Ma. Sir Kelechi is on his way here. Just informing you since you told me to update you anytime. God bless you, Ma. Amara exhaled. A slow, steady breath. So the meeting with the engineering team was actually at the Ikeja branch again. Her heart pinched, but she didn't explode. She had grown up in a home where her mother told her, "Never chase truth with rage. Truth runs faster when your mind is calm." Amara dressed slowly. Black trousers, emerald blouse, hair in a clean bun. The look of a woman who wasn't seeking war, but was ready for it. The visit. Traffic from Ikwe to Ikeja was thick, but Amara barely noticed. Her mind was too focused. She arrived around noon. The building was sleek, modern, tinted glass, cream walls, subtle gold accents, unmistakably Kelechi's style. She walked through the glass doors with quiet confidence. "Good afternoon, Ma!" Chidinma jumped up, startled. "I didn't know you were coming today." Amara smiled gently. "I didn't tell anyone." "Yes, Ma." Sir just stepped into his office." "And the interior designer?" Amara asked it casually, like a whisper. Chidinma hesitated. She's in the conference room, Ma." "Name?" "Tiwa, Ma." "Tiwa. Short. Pretty. Modern. The kind of name Lagos men ruin their marriages for." "Thank you," Amara said, her voice calm. She walked down the hallway, her heels clicking softly, a sound that echoed like approaching thunder. When she reached the office, she paused. She didn't knock. She didn't burst in. She simply placed her hand on the cold metal handle and turned it slowly. The moment, everything shifted. Kelechi was not touching the girl. Not holding her. Not embracing her. But sometimes betrayal isn't physical. Sometimes it's the look in a man's eyes. He sat close to Tiwa on the sofa, much too close, reviewing designs on a tablet. Tiwa laughed lightly, a soft, girlish sound meant for admiration. Kelechi looked relaxed. Happier than he had in their home for weeks. The moment his eyes lifted and saw Amara standing there, everything changed. His entire body stiffened. "Amara?" he breathed. Tiwa's eyes widened. She stood abruptly. "Good afternoon, Ma." Amara didn't look at her. She looked only at her husband. "Kelechi," she said softly. He rose slowly, panic crawling into his expression. You didn't tell me you were coming." A small, calm smile touched her lips. Not warm. Not cold. Just knowing. "I didn't know I needed permission." The room was quiet, suffocating. Tiwa stuttered. "I'll just step outside." "No," Amara said gently, finally turning her gaze to her. "Please stay." Kelechi swallowed. Amara walked closer, graceful and composed. She gestured around the room. "This space is beautiful. She designed it, didn't she?" Kelechi hesitated. "Yes," Tiwa whispered. "It was a team effort, Ma." "But she led it," Amara finished. Tiwa bowed her head. "Yes, Ma." Amara smiled, a heartbreaking, elegant smile. Then she turned to her husband. "Kelechi, I will ask once, and only once. Is this professional, or personal?" Kelechi's mouth opened, but no words came. And silence is sometimes the loudest confession. Amara felt the air leave her chest. Her fingers trembled slightly, but she hid them behind her back. "So this is where the late nights go," she whispered. "Not to engineering meetings, but to interior design consultations." Kelechi flinched. "Amara, it's not what you think." "I think," she interrupted softly, "that I am looking at a man who forgot his vows before God." Tiwa's eyes brimmed with tears. "Ma, I swear it's not." Amara held up a hand. "I am not here for you. Whatever you believe you share with my husband, he allowed it." Tiwa covered her mouth and stepped back. Kelechi reached out slightly. "Amara, please. Let's talk at home." Her laugh was soft, pained, disbelieving. "Talk? You lost that privilege when you chose secrets over honesty." She turned and walked out. Not fast. Not dramatic. Just steady. Like a queen leaving a courtroom she no longer recognizes. Kelechi followed immediately. The parking lot explosion. Amara! He called, jogging after her. She didn't stop until she reached her car. When she finally turned, her eyes were no longer calm. They were fire. You humiliated me, she said, her voice shaking, not with weakness, but with controlled fury. You made me doubt myself, doubt my sanity. Amara, you're jumping to conclusions. She cut him off. Do not lie to me again. I just watched you sit with another woman the way you used to sit with me. Kelechi ran a frustrated hand over his face. It was nothing. Then why hide it? Her voice rose, thunder rumbling softly. Why the secrecy? The lies? The distance? Kelechi fell silent. She stepped closer. Did you cheat on me? The question was a blade. Kelechi looked away. That was answer enough. Amara felt her knees weaken, but she steadied herself on the car. Amara, he whispered. I was stupid. I was overwhelmed. Tiwa is just. Stop. Her voice sliced through the air. Do not insult me with excuses. He swallowed hard. Please don't leave. We can fix this. She stared at him, tears finally spilling down her cheeks, silent, dignified tears that hurt more than shouting ever could. I won't make any decisions today, she whispered, because decisions made in storms are rarely wise. But Kelechi. She looked at him as though seeing a stranger. You broke something in me. And with that, she entered her car, shut the door gently, and drove away, leaving Kelechi standing there in the hot Lagos sun, looking smaller than she had ever seen him. The night of thunder. That evening, the mansion was unnaturally quiet. Amara packed a small suitcase. She wasn't leaving him yet, but she was leaving the house. Her mother always said, when the walls of a home echo with betrayal, step away before the echo becomes your own voice. She wrote Kelechi a short note and placed it on the dining table. I need space. Do not follow me. Do not call me. If you want this marriage alive, you must face yourself before you face me. She left the keys beside the note. As she walked to her car, thunder rolled across the sky, deep, heavy, warning. It wasn't raining. But something inside her felt like a storm had finally broken free. And somewhere in the distance, a spiritual watcher whispered, this is only the beginning. Amara did not drive to her sister's house as everyone would have expected. Instead, she drove to a quiet guest house in Lekki, the kind of place designed for silence, reflection, and healing. The receptionist recognized her from television interviews and tried to offer special treatment, but Amara requested only one thing: privacy. Inside the simple room, she sat on the bed, letting the walls settle around her. The quiet pressed against her ears like cotton. She felt alone. She felt wounded. But she also felt something she hadn't felt in months: clarity. Kelechi's betrayal had cracked her heart, yes. But it had also opened a hidden door inside her spirit. A door she had been too busy, too trusting, too hopeful to look behind. And now, she could see everything. Kelechi's panic. Back in Ikoyi, Kelechi paced through the mansion like a trapped animal. He picked up his phone 10 times, dialed her number, and deleted the attempt each time. Her note on the dining table shook him more than her confrontation. I need space. Do not follow me. Do not call me. He slammed the table in frustration, then immediately regretted it. This was his fault. His carelessness. His arrogance. And now the silence of the mansion mocked him. He sank onto the couch and buried his face in his hands. When had he drifted so far from the woman he had sworn to protect? When had attention from a younger woman become more intoxicating than loyalty? The truth stung. He liked how Tiwa looked at him, like he was flawless. Amara knew his shadows too well. Tiwa only saw the light. But Kelechi never meant for it to go this far. Never meant for his wife to walk away. Never meant to become the man he once judged others for being. He needed guidance. And there was only one person in Lagos he trusted for that. His mother. Mama Okafor arrives. Mama Okafor entered the house the next morning with the authority of a queen. Her wrapper was tied tightly, her gilly towering, her eyes sharp enough to slice glass. Kelechi, she snapped the moment she saw him. If you have done something to make your wife leave this house, thunder will not be enough warning for you. Kelechi exhaled shakily. Mama, please. Where is Amara? She demanded. She left. Mama Okafor dropped her handbag sharply onto a chair. You let that girl, that respectful, well-raised, well-mannered girl, walk out of your home? Have you lost your mind? Kelechi lowered his head. Mama. His voice cracked. I messed up. She froze. Then slowly, painfully, she sank into a chair. Kelechi. Kelechi. She murmured, shaking her head. Please tell me you didn't go and disgrace this family. He swallowed. There's someone else. The slap came before he saw it. Pa. Kelechi IB. You let a small Pekin tempt you? A man with a whole wife at home? He held his cheek, shame burning through him. Mama Okafor stood over him, voice trembling. You and Amara were blessed. That kind of blessing, enemies envy. That kind of blessing, foolishness destroys. Kelechi felt the words like blows. His mother sank down again, this time with sorrow rather than anger. Go and bring your wife home, she said quietly. Before the world hears of this disgrace. I don't know where she is. Mama Okafor closed her eyes. That is worse. If a woman leaves without revealing her destination, her heart is carrying a weight you may not be able to lift again. Amara's family reacts. Amara knew she couldn't stay hidden for long. Her mother called. Her sister called. Her cousins called. She ignored all the calls, except one. Her father's. Amara, his deep voice said when she answered. Come home. She felt her throat close. Daddy, I don't want to trouble anyone. You are my child, he said firm. Your pain is not trouble. Amara's tears fell quietly. She packed her small bag and drove to her family home in Enugu the next morning. When she entered the compound, her mother rushed forward and gathered her in a tight embrace. My daughter, she whispered, who has dimmed your light? Amara broke down in her mother's arms, but she didn't explain everything yet. She needed rest. She needed time. She needed air. Tiwa's guilt. Meanwhile, Tiwa sat in her small apartment in Surulere, staring blankly at the wall. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Some messages were from Kelechi. Some from colleagues who suspected something. Some from unknown numbers calling her name she didn't have the strength to read. But none of it hurt as much as the look on Amara's face. She wasn't the villain she was being painted as, not fully at least. She never planned to get close to Kelechi. He approached her first. He complimented her designs. He offered guidance. He asked about her dreams. He listened to her. And she was lonely. She was struggling. She was flattered. But she never wanted to break a marriage. After seeing Amara in that office, guilt gnawed at her like fire. That woman carried dignity in her pain. Grace in her heartbreak. Strength even while wounded. Tiwa felt small beside her. She picked up her phone and texted Kelechi. Please don't contact me again. I didn't realize how deeply this would hurt your wife. I'm done with this. Don't involve me anymore. She turned off her phone and cried until her eyes were too sore to shut. The spiritual unfolding. 3 days passed. Amara stayed quiet, praying, journaling, and thinking. She didn't tell her parents the full truth yet. She needed to understand her own heart before the world shaped her decisions. On the 4th morning, she had a dream. She was standing in a large house, her marriage, but the walls were cracking. She touched one crack, and fire seeped through it. She touched another, and water poured out. She turned to run, but a voice behind her said, You cannot run from a house you built. You must decide whether to repair it or walk away before it falls. Amara woke up trembling. It felt too real. Too symbolic. Too much like a message. So she went to visit Mama Chinyu, the spiritual woman who had warned her earlier. The older woman looked at her with sad, knowing eyes. You have seen the truth, she murmured before Amara even spoke. Your marriage is standing on a wounded foundation. Amara's voice shook. Can the foundation be rebuilt? Mama Chinyu's answer was slow. Yes, but only if both builders return. Not one. Amara closed her eyes. Meaning? She could not save this marriage alone. Kelechi had to choose it too. Fully. Not halfway. Not with apologies only. With transformation. Child, Mama Chinyu said softly, you carry the spirit of peace. But peace should not look like silence. Your voice matters. Amara nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. Should I go back? Not yet, the woman replied. Let him come to you first, not with excuses, but with truth. The day Kelechi broke. On the 7th day, Kelechi finally reached his limit. He had visited Amara's family home twice. Her parents told him she needed space. Her father warned him gently but firmly. Do not return until you are ready to be accountable. He had slept in an empty house for a week, eaten almost nothing, taken multiple cold showers just to think straight, and replayed the scene in his office 100 times. His pride burned away. His excuses dissolved. His illusions shattered. He realized he had not only betrayed his wife, he had betrayed himself. So on the 7th night, he drove to Enugu. He didn't call ahead. He didn't tell anyone. He parked down the street from her family home and sat in the dark car, gripping the steering wheel, thinking of every vow he had broken. Then he got out and walked toward the gate. He didn't know if she would open the door. He didn't know if she would scream, or cry, or walk away. But he knew one thing. It was time to face the consequences of his own destruction. The knock. At 9:14 p.m., Amara sat in the living room with her mother, reading Psalms quietly. A knock echoed through the house. Her mother frowned. Who is coming at this time? Amara's heart stopped. She knew. She felt it. She didn't move. Her mother stood, opened the curtains slightly, and gasped. Kelechi. Amara inhaled sharply, her hands trembling. The storm outside had finally reached her door. The knock continued, firm, steady, unhurried, like someone who was ready to face whatever was waiting behind the door. Amara's mother placed a hand over her heart. This boy has brought thunder to our doorstep. Amara exhaled shakily. She didn't stand immediately. Her body felt heavy, pinned to the couch by the weight of everything she had held inside for a week. Her mother walked to the entrance and opened the door halfway. Kelechi stood there in the dim porch light, looking like a shadow of the confident man he once was. His eyes were red-rimmed, his beard untrimmed, his posture defeated. Mama, good evening. His voice cracked. Mrs. Nwosu didn't step aside. What are you doing here, Kelechi? I came to see my wife. His voice trembled. Her eyes hardened. Your wife is inside this house, but her peace is fragile. If you are here to justify yourself, go back. I'm not here to defend anything, he whispered. I'm here to confess. A silence passed like a blade. Mrs. Nwosu studied his face, really looked at him, and something softened in her expression. Not forgiveness. Not acceptance. But recognition of a wounded man trying to stand. She finally stepped back. Come inside. Kelechi entered quietly, slowly, like someone entering a sacred place they had once desecrated. He saw Amara sitting on the couch. Her chin lifted slightly, but her eyes remained calm. His breath caught. She looked strong. Too strong. Stronger than he remembered. He had expected a broken woman. He was seeing a rebuilt one. Amara, he whispered. She didn't answer. Her mother returned to the living room but didn't sit. She stood by the doorway, present, protective, watchful. You can speak, she said. Both of you. Whatever is said in this house tonight must be true. Kelechi nodded shakily. He took one step toward Amara, then stopped when she raised her hand slightly. Stay there, she said quietly. Talk from where you are. Her voice was soft but sharp, like silk wrapped around steel. The confession. Kelechi swallowed hard. Amara. I'm sorry. The words fell weakly, clumsily. Amara's eyes stayed steady. What exactly are you sorry for? For hurting you. For lying. For hiding things I should have shared. Her gaze didn't waver. Be specific. Kelechi nodded, trembling. I developed feelings for someone else. The words hit the room like a storm. Her mother inhaled sharply. Chinique. He continued, voice shaking. I didn't plan it. I didn't expect it. And I didn't fight it early enough. It was attention. Flattery. I felt seen. I felt admired. He breathed out slowly, painfully. I was weak. Amara blinked once, slow, controlled. Inside, her heart tore in two. But her face remained composed. Did you? Her voice was steady. Did you sleep with her? Kelechi froze. This was the moment. The moment that would determine everything. He bowed his head. No. Her chest tightened, not in relief, but in something strange and complicated. Not because I didn't want to. His voice broke. But because guilt kept stopping me. I knew if I crossed that line, there would be no return. Mrs. Nwosu exhaled sharply, covering her mouth. Amara's expression remained unreadable. But you were emotionally involved. Yes. He didn't sugarcoat it. She inhaled, exhaled. Her lips trembled, just slightly. And you lied to me about your whereabouts. Yes. And you hid her from me. Yes. And you gave her time, energy, attention, affection that belonged to our home. His voice broke completely. Yes, Amara. I did. The room fell silent. No one moved. No one breathed. Only the soft hum of the ceiling fan filled the void. The turning point. Amara finally spoke. Her voice was soft, too soft. Kelechi, do you love her? He shook his head violently. No. I was running from my own insecurities, not toward her. Then what were you looking for? His eyes filled with tears. Validation, he whispered. You are strong, accomplished, respected. Sometimes I felt like I was fading beside you. She made me feel needed. Like I was the hero. Amara's throat tightened painfully. So you broke your vows, she whispered. To feel tall? The words hit him harder than any slap. Amara. No, she said, raising a trembling hand. Don't speak. She wiped a tear quietly. You could have told me you were struggling. You could have told me you felt overshadowed. You could have told me your confidence was shaking. Her voice rose, cracking. But instead, you let a stranger hold the pieces of you that belonged to me. Kelechi broke. He covered his face with both hands and sobbed, a raw, unguarded sound that filled the room with anguish. Amara watched him cry and felt something inside her twist. Her mother placed a hand on her shoulder gently. You don't have to comfort him, she whispered. I'm not, Amara murmured. I'm mourning the man I thought he was. The spiritual revealing. After Kelechi's sobs quieted, Mrs. Nwosu finally spoke. Kelechi, did you ever stop to wonder why everything felt easy with this other woman? He looked up, confused and exhausted. What do you mean? Because relationships outside marriage are built on illusion. You show only the good parts. None of the struggle. None of the sacrifice. None of the responsibility. Her voice sharpened. You fell for a fantasy. Kelechi nodded slowly. He felt each word like a blade carving truth into his skin. Mrs. Nwosu turned to her daughter. Amara, I will ask you one thing. Are you afraid to leave this marriage? Or afraid to stay in it? Amara froze. Her eyes met her mother's. She hadn't expected that question. But it pierced straight through the fog inside her mind. Afraid to leave? A little. Afraid of the world, of gossip, of the unknown. But afraid to stay? Her heart trembled. Maybe even more. She turned to Kelechi. Are you willing to go to counseling? Yes. Are you willing to cut all contact with her? I already have. Are you willing to rebuild trust, even if it takes years? Yes, he choked. Are you willing to change, not to win me back, but to become a better man? Yes, he whispered, because I hate the man I became. Silence. Then Mrs. Moses said, Call your father. Amara wiped her face. Why?